Thank you so much, and thanks to each of you for being here, particularly given that it's World Hunger Day, and for your thoughtful testimonies. I just want to start with Mr. Hetherington. You mentioned that it took you 20 years to get to 1 million visits, and then over the past 3 or 4 years, you've seen that increase of 300 or 400% to over 4 million visits. And you also mentioned a huge increase in people with full-time employment. I'm just wondering if you're also seeing a shift between what I would think of as occasional to regular use.
Great question. And if I said 20 years, I'm sorry, I misspoke. It was 38 years to get to 1 million visits. Wow. And then just, 2 years to get to 2 and 1. In terms of the shift that we're seeing, it is the one that is the most concerning, obviously, is the individuals who have done everything right, who have gone through a post-secondary education and still need the food bank. That's most concerning. When it comes to the usage, you can segment it in terms of the group that will arrive just for that emergency. They lost their job. They need a break. They need some assistance. That represents about a third. Then you have more than a third now that it's chronic usage. Their incomes, for example, in Ontario, their disability income is about $1,400 a month. You have to go to the food bank every single month, and that doesn't change.
We're actually seeing the same thing in BC. It's really not an Ontario problem. It's an across-the-country problem. Just because I have a limited amount of time, Ms. Ramsey-Rezi, you represent 400 food security organizations across the country. And are you hearing from your partners that people are accessing these programs that they have just never seen before?
Thank you for the question, Chair. It's not quite how you're describing it. I think the severity of the food insecurity crisis continues on, and we look at local data from different communities and different organizations, but we also compare that to the national statistic, because Statistics Canada collects national data on food insecurity. And so what we're seeing is that on the front lines, the severity of the crisis is not abating. It is starting to, and it has. It is affecting folks who were traditionally thought of as being safe from food insecurity, right? And it reflects the general economic precarity that's proliferating in society. And this has been going on for the past at least 26 years. So it's a nonpartisan issue. Food insecurity has accelerated over the course of a generation, and it's going to really take a nonpartisan approach and a whole of government approach to try to address it across the country.
Just in terms of, in terms of that, do you think we've hit, this is actually a yes or no question that I'd like each of you to answer. We hear consistently that this is a problem that is growing, that it is accelerating. Do you think we've hit bottom? Or do you think the trend is going to continue to get worse? And I'd just like a yes or no question from each of you.
Most food insecure individuals.
It's a yes or no question.
Don't access food banks. So the answer is no. We're going to see it continue.
We're going to see it continue, Mr. Hetherington?
You're going to see the severity increase and the population maintain.
Ms. Secord?
I would say the same. Celiac disease is growing, so we will see more pressures.
And Ms. Barry?
No, it's not gonna stop because we are 2 or 3 years behind with the statistics. So
and just one more follow-up question for you, Ms. Secord. When you do have a dietary disability or a disability that is affected by diet, can you talk just a little bit about how much worse it is and how much harder it is, just in terms of variety, access, location?
It is tough, and I will clarify that it doesn't qualify for the new disability program. We were actually removed from that program, so what we got was this terrible medical expense tax claim. I'll just make that caveat. For people with celiac disease, it has improved over the years because of the fad diet. There is more choice out there, but it's more expensive. A lot of the products do have a lot of sugars and extra fat to make them taste really good. But you know, a lot of families for kids, they just want to be able to have their children access, you know, breads like everybody else and cereals. But when it's, you know, $10 a loaf, but the loaf is half as large, you know, or cereals just to feel regular.
Thank you,
So
Ms. Secord. We're going to have to end it there.
Truly
Thank you.
have